chairpersons and the officers from the districts in monitoring and evaluating the performance of the budget. And not the budget, but the government programs. Specifically, in the afternoon, we received copies. Copies, I know members may not be having, but I believe message may be having other copies for, the members who were not present. We have a manifesto for NRM, and that is what we are implementing. And it is our social contract with our people. I will not dwell much on that. Today we are very privileged to have an interaction with the National Planning Authority. For me, I believe the National Planning Authority is actually the nucleus of the engine that is supposed to propel us to prosperity. I will not take long with these remarks, but I take this honor to welcome you and also request you to be very calm and attentive, because the presentation we are going to get is very vital. Planning and budgeting are one and the same almost. They produce the National Development Plan, which guides most of us in our planning units. Even when you're budgeting, you need to refer to the National Development Plan. So it's important that we know where we are coming from. So ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce Dr. Mbawala, who is the ED for National Planning Authority, but is far bigger than that. Dr. Mbawala is also the Basoga call it Katukilo, the Katukilo of Busoga, Owechitiwa, Katukilo, Owa Busoga, Baba Tusangairo Kuwata. He is the ED for National Planning Authority, a man who has studied a lot of economics. Some of us stopped at those lower levels, and rightly in that office for planning for national development. He has worked in many offices. He was in the education sector as commissioner, so I know he understands many of the issues, because yesterday I know we were putting forward challenges in the education sector. But with that background, I know he understands our challenges. So permit me now to to welcome Dr. Mubawala to come and address us. Dr. Mubawala, welcome.
Ministers present this meeting, honorable members of Parliament, RDCs and RCCs present, the district leaders, district chairs, and mayors, colleagues from the security team, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, before I embark on this exercise, I am never introduced in this very big way, because when I come here in New York, I am not coming here as the Katoke of Uso. I am coming here as the Executive Director of the National Planning Authority. And the National Planning Authority is an office, which ideally should be an office of Parliament. Unfortunately, it is not. And I happen to be the longest serving ED of that institution. Again, unfortunately. I have been in that position for 11 years. And I'm ready to quit the day you ask me to. Ladies and gentlemen, talking of education, I'm also the deputy chair. Remember, concentration. I have a short time. Your time will come. I just want you to test. Please, your time is coming. I just simply want to test the notes that we are about to issue about education. And I hope that we have all participated. And if you have strong views, I can receive them. I have the authority to write them down. I also have the authority and the ability to tell you you're right or wrong. But being my bosses, I'll be a little bit careful. I send you regards from the leadership of the Planning Authority. In this meeting, you had invited the chair of the Planning Authority. You did not invite me. But I used this opportunity because her term had expired. And you have just approved her next term. I am the chair and the lead. So I have used this opportunity to hold that very important office and represent her at this very important meeting. And I was asked to give a 15 minutes talk. And as you know, I am not a fan of PowerPoints. Because every time I use PowerPoints, people lose concentration. They concentrate on the PowerPoint and not me. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm driven here to talk to you. I would request that you concentrate on me. I am also hoping that I'm dressed well to be concentrated on. Thank you very much. And it will be sad if I don't introduce this was my roommate, Honorable Amle. She was my roommate in Malaba. Yes, sharing the same house when I was an immigration officer. Did you know that? She was an immigration officer too. And I hope our husband is okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I was asked to talk about, to reflect on the performance of NGO. I said that as to tell you that I have no conflict of interest. Yeah, she was my housemate. You know these problems where you give one house officers. We used to look after the babies together. So, and also my classmate. So, I was asked to talk about, to reflect on the performance of NDP3 and to give you a sneak peek on where we want the country to go. And my presentation can be made in 1 minute if you choose, but I'm not going to do that. I am also not going to tell you the mandate of NPA because it is obvious. But I want to tell you that our intention in the plan 3 was deliberately to improve the quality of life of Ugandans. So it is easy to assess whether we have passed or we have failed. Because NDP 2 was about a quantitative target, middle income. And like my senior brother here knows, that is a product of dividing your GDP by your population. It's a very easy target. And it is meaningful, but also not very meaningful. So we decided to trust and go to a harder target of improving incomes of our population. And today, I want to tell you that our performance has been below average. I am trying to use a diplomatic language. We have not performed so well. As I stand here today, we are at 40%. And we have 1 year to complete the plan. By our estimations, we will hit a maximum of 60%. And all plans in this country, none has gone beyond 60%. So that tells you there's something that we have to talk about as a country. There is something we have to talk about as a country. It seems to me that I have been pretending of a system that does very good planning, but is substantially lacking on the side of implementing those plans. And I don't exonerate myself, because possibly maybe the problem is the plan itself. Possibly. Maybe we are over-ambitious. And we have to ask ourselves, is it wrong to be ambitious? Is it wrong to dream? No. Is there a human being that does not dream? Would you be normal if you don't dream? So I think we need to stop hiding behind ambitions. We need to stop hiding behind dreams, because dreams are normal and ambitions are normal for any human being. So you're going to see a little bit of shift in NDP 4, because we realized that in all the plans we have not done well. Ladies and gentlemen, NDP 1, there is a logic. NDP 1, NDP 2, and NDP 3 is about dealing with the fundamentals, the base of the economy, which is infrastructure, human capital, and all those things. And we have done that in 3 plans. So I will tell you now what we think we should be doing. So we are at 40%. When you look at the GDP, we anticipated by this time to be growing at 7%. We are unfortunately projected to grow at 6%. And the last year we grew at 5.3%. And you can guess what I'm going to say next. I'm going to blame COVID. Because of COVID, we were unable to achieve those targets. The other issue that I see, when you look at that target I talked about, where you simply divide your GDP by the population and you pray that the exchange rate is favorable, we have achieved the target. We have achieved the target. We are at 1033. And when you achieve that target, but I've said a few things. You pray that the forex exchange is favorable. And you also pray that the population is not growing very fast. Which is not the case for this country. And therefore, many people have been asking ourselves that when we hit this target, above this target, the way we are, because we are around 116, and our target was 103 US dollars. And that target would initially make you knock at the door of a lower middle income country. I want to explain this. Uganda is not yet a lower middle income country. And I must tell you how you become a lower middle income country. You don't simply knock and then go away. You have to knock and stay there for 3 years, knocking. Then they will open for you. So now Uganda has reached the knocking. We are knocking the door. We are required to sustain that number for the next 3 years. And when we do, we will then be declared a lower middle income country. So that's the confusion that has been in the country. We have reached, but we have not been accepted. Yes, because you don't just go, then go back. There's no backsliding. When you go, you go. You go forward. So that is the clarification I want to make. We have reached. So we have done very well in that area. But we have a major challenge. The country, but also affects the region I'm addressing more. And I'm conflicted because I also come from this region. We are having a distribution problem, and we are having a poverty problem. We are having reversals in poverty, and those reversals are affecting the east and northeast, and surprisingly the north. After heavy investment, PRDP, NUSAF, what? All these things. In fact, yesterday I was rejecting the NUSAF project. Yes. Yes, I was rejecting it seriously. Because I was asking them, first tell me what is happening. Tell me what is happening. NUSAF 1, 2, 3. So I was telling them, look, we need this money. This country needs this money, but it must go to do the right things that the northerners deserve. And I'm going to stop and pause there. Projects must do things that the people those projects are addressing deserve. And that is a product of very good analysis. That is a product of listening to the people. It is a product of you people speaking. Unfortunately, you don't speak enough. You ask me to talk to you. You will hit me, but let me also hit you because I have the chance. You don't talk enough. You don't have a common voice in articulating your problems. Every time we ask you for a problem, you come with 10 problems. And each of you has their own problem. So what is the problem of the East? If I was to ask, by show of hands, just one person, what is our major problem in the East? When you know poverty is an effect, I want to see the cause. That is a symptom. What is the cause? Poverty is a symptom. What is the cause of poverty, if poverty is our problem? You know, I'm also a teacher. I hate just talking. Yes, sir. Let us interact. Let us interact a little. Who of you can tell me, and I want to see if we all agree that that is our problem. The moment we do that, this region will change. You never agree. So what is the issue? The days you have been here, have we agreed what the issue, the cause of what is our problem in the East? Yes.
I think they say the city from
far. Is going far.
I think the trouble with the East emanates from our history, and as a Rasta, history is our destiny. It creates our destiny. So the history that we came through, the fact that we have been not accessing the national leadership and the leadership in terms of accessing resources is a big problem. Lastly,
I wanted to one.
Yes,
to see, well, if we have
and I'm giving you.
Okay, don't add me too. Give me one.
It is, just only giving you the background.
Okay.
The trouble is our Eastern mindset issue.
Okay.
That's very, very important.
Mindset. Mindset. Somebody else? Quickly, then I'll proceed. Somebody. Quickly. Let us just, I just want to see. Yes. What is the issue?
The issue is lack of a united leadership. Because development is negotiation, you have to negotiate what you want and how to get it. Yes. So we lack a united leadership.
And this room is full of leaders, yes, including myself. Yes, somebody else? Just to see. Okay.
For the commitment and coverage. This is the first retreat in a series that will be carried out that brings all leaders of Eastern Uganda together to discuss and synergize as one family of NRM. This has been an initiative of the Cabinet Chief Whip, and I want to thank the Right Honourable Speaker who has assigned me to this task for having indeed worked with the Commission and the clerk to facilitate this process. That shows you how much value as a leadership of the NRA, of the Parliament, give to our political party that is related us to occupy the positions that we do occupy. So I want to really wholeheartedly thank the Right Honourable Speaker, Right Honourable Aditari Tamong, and deliver our greetings to you. She's with us in each and every step that we are taking. This is a refresher training for NRA leaders that is aimed at building a more cohesive and well-coordinated team through whipping system. And our major focus is pushing the government agenda as portrayed in the theme of the meeting, which is the role of regional whips in monitoring government programs. Honourable Chief Whip, ministers and invited guests, regional whips in Parliament play a crucial role in ensuring party discipline and coherence within their respective regions. I listened to my brother, my elder brother, Owechipiwa Muvawara. I listened to part of his submission. He went into the technical aspects. Now for us, it is whipping the system to effectively implement what my brother Owechipiwa Muvawara was putting across. Otherwise, it will just remain on paper. So we have to work very closely. And with this, on the side of government, the president has been whipping us very well. For example, through the budgeting process, now we have a well-coordinated budgeting process where the president meets the three arms of government and we plan and budget together. It's no longer the executive working alone and they bring the budget to Parliament and then we start haggling and all that. No, it's a well-coordinated process. The Chief Whip has been part of it and we have been able to produce a budget that is more acceptable for arms of government. Without much time. Yes, the president speaks from the top and then we go down and ensure that indeed everyone is on board. Liaising with members of Parliament from the region to communicate the party's position on various issues and ensure that the vote in line with the party policies is one of the roles of the whipping system. And Honourable Wanda Richard, whom I saw there, has been doing a fantastic job. Honourable Chamonge Zweri from Sebe, Honourable Okiroro has been doing a good job that side, and many other members from the different parts of the country have been doing a very, very fantastic job. Another role would be in monitoring the attendance and participation of members of Parliament from their region in parliamentary debates and proceedings. Now, I'm raising these roles of the government chief whips because the whips also at the local government level, at the local council level, face the same roles. They are just duplicated roles. The ones we have at the level of parliament should also be at the level of local councils to effectively mobilize members of the NRM to deliver on their core mandate of the government. Coordinating with the government chief whip and other regional whips and ensure that the party strategies are effectively implemented. That's another one. Another one is providing support and guidance to members of parliament in their respective region in matters of parliamentary procedures and protocols. It's also identifying potential dissent or disunity within the party ranks and addressing these issues proactively. It's assisting with the organization of regional party events and campaigns to promote party unity and message consistency. It's also acting as a communication channel between members of parliament and party leadership, conveying the concerns and feedback to senior party members. These duties cannot be effectively executed without the participation of the local leadership. So that's why we as parliament, when the government chief whip approached us, we say this is very, very, very critical for easy service delivery. We can only achieve all this through working with the local government. To the top of the central government and the legislature where we are, is like power lines. Power lines, we have high voltage power lines, the ones on the road. But these power lines that are high voltage won't distribute power if there are no low voltage lines. That is the distribution lines. Usually a high voltage at 3 kV and above. Then we have the lower voltage. Now, those lower voltages are the ones which take power in the homes of the people. That's what local governments do. That's what people at the districts do. For us, we, with the president, parliament working with the president, we do provide the high voltage, that is the budget, the policies, the laws, and then leaders at the local level have to provide the low voltage, that is ensuring that whatever government has provided in the budget is implemented up to the local level. From accountability, monitoring, to some of them implementation, like the roads that they do at local government level, the recruitments we do, the health centers that are in, the primary schools that are in, all those are low voltage lines that the local governments use to distribute services to them. And I hope with very clear coordination, we can be able to achieve together the moment we coordinate better. Now, the best way to mobilize for the NRM will be through service delivery. People will only love us the moment we deliver services. The moment they are grumbling, even they say in heaven, you can't go to heaven when you're grumbling. So how will people support us when they are grumbling? That's why you saw when we proposed to the president, he immediately picked up the initiative of adding 1 billion local governments for roads, so that money can go down and help the 180. Otherwise, we will feed him, but some people are saying, no, you'd rather use this money to make roads. But then when you also got programs like PDM, the coordination that we do get, the working together, the accountability part of it, you find there are challenges. So we want to have that synergy between us national leaders and local leaders so that we can whip the whole system in its entirety. When the government chief whip is on the floor trying to defend a government position, he's speaking because he whips the whole government system the way it is, as the one who is accountable on the floor of the house. So we have to ensure that when we send a program like parish model, what are the directives of His Excellency the President, which have been reduced into guidelines? Are they being implemented the way they are? If you are an NRM leader, are you doing it well? If you're a member of parliament, do you know that if parish model, you coordinate very well and it succeeds, you're already doing your campaign? You're not only doing the campaign for yourself, but you're doing it for the president, you're doing it for the party candidates, you're doing it for everyone that is associated with the system. Because it's going to bring money into people's pockets. I heard my brother Mbawa giving you priorities which we are looking at. I can reduce them to our agenda, and our agenda now being socio-economic transformation. Socio-economic transformation whereby we want people to have money in their pockets. That business of Okorere Chita Choka, and I'm glad my brother Chinobere should be there in his area of Kibuku. I've been there around 3 times. Okorere Chita Choka, it has to stop. How will it stop? Programs like parish model, that value addition which Mr. Mbawara was talking about, we are talking about, because it will bring us more jobs, it will bring us more taxes here, and we have more money to take to the community. So service delivery, once it is successful, we shall be mobilizing for our party, and our work will be very easy. Accountability. We are having a huge problem with recruitments at the district level. We are receiving extreme complaints, and I'm raising this because I've heard we have RDCs and security people there. We have a huge problem of how we recruit people at local government level. The materials used to implement government projects at local government level, the contracts provision, there is money which we put at the district level. I don't know what it does. And many people have been questioning, that's like money for water, to the extent that some are saying, why don't we put it at the center, we give to national water, or umbrella, they go and implement. All these are things that are part of the whipping system. Whipping is not on about attending the meeting. Whipping is not on about voting in line with the NRM. No. Whipping is about ensuring that whatever our leader has guided us to do, whatever we have provided in the funds in the system is implemented to the letter. That's the only way we shall have people supporting our government. Then there is the issue of conflict resolution. Our whips should be able to help us resolve conflicts in the area. It shouldn't be that it is whips who are, again, fanning conflicts. Honorable Wanda Richard should be able to help bring issues, conflicting members from this sub-region together. If he fails, then he will approach the government chief whip to come and intervene. And the government chief whip or the vice chair of the caucus can even help before disturbing the government chief whip with all problems. So when you do it that way, sometimes the government chief whip also, I get team issues. I say, but government chief whip, help me on your members. I have some are fighting, some are about to kill each other, and sometimes he also brings issues and he says, Royton, can we work together to help solve this conflict? This is what the whipping system is all about. You will only be able to whip if you're able to provide solutions, and solutions including resolving conflicts of members. I have also been informed that the facilitators and discussants at this historical regional meeting have been reputable persons with core competencies and vast knowledge in various fields. Therefore, at the end of this regional meeting, I hope you have acquired great comprehension and appreciation of the different roles of regional whips, different challenges hindering implementation of government programs, how to assess progress and update of different government programs in the region, effectively mobilizing members of parliament within the region to attend parliament business, and other important meetings, and the significance of speaking one voice as members of the same region. Finally, I want to urge you, out of this meeting, let's leave when we have resolved very critical issues. You find we are doing very critical legislation and members are not in the house. The same applies to a council meeting. You find a speaker cannot raise quorum. Where are these members? NRM, which controls around 70% of the members in the house. Why should we struggle? Why should the chief whip struggle to get a third of the members to come and attend, even if the opposition walked out? Why? It's because we are not well coordinated. Now, I'm speaking here as an NRM member. Because I'm deployed by the NRM, the opposition couldn't deploy me. The opposition put a candidate on me. So now I'm talking with you as an NRM member who will jealously regard his party. So I request you to coordinate and work very well with the government chief. we shall use our positions also to ensure that our party becomes stronger and stronger in every way possible. I want to thank you. It is the chief whip who will close the meeting on my behalf, because now if I close, before you can even speak, then we shall have broken. I can stop here for now.
Mine is to thank the chief whip and your support, because I know he didn't do it alone, for bringing this parliament down to us. The issues we've been having have been highly addressed, and the issues of contracts, it is just the interested parties that keep on doing this. Now we have no where to whip. I want to promise as another DC of Queen, retired ASP at Hope, that from tomorrow we are going to solve issues of contract. It is not only hard, they just get contracts. Even owners don't know that these contracts are working. They manipulate and do things. The local governments, they have a lot. First of all is openness and transparency. Things must be in the open. And for NRM, I will not be scared and say I also let us regard the issues of NRM and our president, make sure we move forward.
So what is the question?
You gave us road units to work on local government roads. And in your speech to us, you have also noted that the roads are very bad. These road units, the graders, the water bowsers, all now, most of them are down because of just tires. I know there is a regional workshop in Ugembe, in Jinja, but this regional workshop is not doing us good work. They are not supplying us these tires in time. And yet the guidelines that you sent from central government, the money that we receive for road funds, you don't allow us to procure these tires. For the case of Tororo, I have packed all the 2 graders. So even when we have some little money for road fund in the account, you can now not utilize it because you don't have tires and you don't have powers to procure those tires. So I beg that central government provides for us money away from the regional workshop to see that we operationalize these equipments. 2, Jinja cannot cover the whole of this area. There should be regional workshops at every sub-region. I beg that if that is implemented, you will see some of the local government roads a bit fair. But also, you people at central government, you are not thanking us who are at local government. And yet the point of service delivery is at local government. When you come, you think we are corrupt. You think the monies you send are only for stealing. You don't want to put some better salary for us. The cows are at 2 million. The LC5s are at 2 million. This money is a tax. The 2 million you get only 1.6. So we are demoralized. We do a lot of work at local government level, but we are too demoralized. And this is work of Parliament. I don't think if Parliament takes legs that the LC5, the cow, the salary will be increased. It will be a problem. I'm sometimes told that members of Parliament think that if we local leaders are given money, we shall fight them to come to Parliament. But it is instead the opposite. Because all of us now will do local government and look for where there is money there. So you better well remunerate us. And some of these members of Parliament can also leave Parliament and they come and serve as LC5. Because you can't be in Parliament like for 2 terms, 3 terms. Serve in Parliament 2 terms, come back and serve also at local government. You leave others also. What no but how did? You leave others from local government also to go and serve government.
What kind of question is that?
I want to stop here. There are so many issues, but I take notice of your schedules of duty. I know you're a busy person. I would have raised so many issues, but I beg to stop there and give other people also to say something. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you for raising these issues. I know these are deeply seated issues that we do have, and setting priorities. I think Right Honorable Mufawara has been at the center of setting priorities under National Planning Authority where the money goes. But we would have wanted to give more. We would have wanted to give more. Now we have been focusing on areas that can stimulate the economy, on areas that can stimulate people's minds and pockets so that you make more, and then we can get more. But also, of course, the other challenge we have is how many people in Uganda do pay tax. So the issue of taxes has been a very, very huge challenge. Otherwise, Chairman would have given you, we would love to give each district like 10 billion for roads, but we are not able. With the intervention of the President, now, on top of what we have been receiving, added we starting with this financial year that is ending, we've been able to add you around 1 billion. So I think if my memory serves me right, part of the 1 billion, we said you can use around 15 million for maintenance of the equipment of the road unit of the district. From the 1 billion, so issues like tires, you have the leverage to use part of that 15 million to buy tires. Please don't put down the graders, because we allowed you. And the chairman of the road committee, I don't know Tororo whom you chose, but I know you have able members of parliament, led by the minister, the Honorable Bosobo. You have Honorable Angura, you have Honorable Max Sochai, you have Honorable Saru Pendi, you have Honorable Fox Odoi. All these people have been foreign proceedings in the House, seriously. So we should be, Honorable Ekanya Joffrey, so we should be able to see how best you can use part of that money to buy like tires. I know 50 million might not be that much, but you should get tires at least. And of course the issue of regional workshops, yes, we have discussed it before in Parliament. It's an issue which we are indeed expedited, and I'm glad the government chief whip is taking note of this, and we are going to capture it in the report that we are doing. On the issue of facilitation for local governments, I'm checking if it which is going to be ready tomorrow. We added 34.18 billion as Russia and honoraria for local government leaders. So we are, and of course it came after the concretes like the ones you raised. So next financial year, your facilitation is going to be better, but I think we can continue working hard to make it much better. But of course, Chairman, I agree with you, but the issue of
increasing the money for
service, the spirit of service, and utilizing government projects very well for the benefit of your community. Chairman, if you ensure that a good road is done very well in your area, then even you now we are giving you enablers to have side income, to do side business and have side income. But that does not take away the issue of good facilitation, but it's budget constraints that are hindering us. But starting next financial year, you are going to be much better off than how you were. And I think tomorrow the Minister for Finance might write it in the budget, but we included 34.18 billion for you local government leaders. I didn't get the question from the RDC of Queen very well, but I heard her talking about contracts and all that. I want to request my brother the government to help answer on the issue.
On the presentation of ED, I noted one thing, and which is still a very big bottleneck, in ensuring that the private entrepreneurs, especially those dealing in SMEs, access funding. All government interventions in the Uganda Development Bank, in this Bank for Agricultural Fund, are really inaccessible. ED and now our Chief Whip present here, as government, we need really to audit those institutions we gave money on why they are complicating access to those funds. I have a young entrepreneur whom I cannot mention here because it becomes a conflict of interest, wanted to access money from one of the institutions, and he was qualifying for 500 million shillings to expand on her production and processing of value addition. But they say if you want us to help you, 10% is ours. If you don't, we shall not give you the money. She said, to hell with your money, because there's no way I can take a loan and then service money taken by the corrupting processing officials. So if we don't come out hard, like it's now that even all those touching money, whether they are everywhere, are touched, we shall still see and no results will be seen. Thank you.
The number of professors and technocrats were identified. They sat for over a year with district leaders of TESO. They came up with a comprehensive TESO development plan. And the areas of development like the fruit factory, the Achomai project of 78 billion, the hospitals, all these were captured, including lobbying for strategic positions in the government if TESO was to catch up with the rest of Uganda. I want to say that today, while the Bugis sub-region has the potential to be the food basket of not only the Elgon itself, but the neighboring districts, we still import matoke from Toroko, from Bushenyi in the Mbale district. Partly because we have not sat down the leadership with the technocrats to have a deliberate development plan that is strictly followed. TESO is favored that it even has a minister with a budget to follow TESO affairs. And we may need to know from the National Planning Authority, but it is my suspicion that TESO is doing quite well, while places like Ebukedi areas of reference that Kida Chonka, but the leadership must deliberately come up with a strategy. How do we address the Kida Chonka in Bukedi, the Rambala in Usoga, okay, and the challenges here? If it requires, if we had a minister to add up Usoga, to add up Bukedi, and we have a deliberate plan, I would think we'll do better.
This is Soroti. Mr. Chair, my colleague Manava gave some comparative expression how TESO is doing better than the rest of the sub-region. But I think that is a bit of a misrepresentation. TESO, like any other sub-region.
The face of the leaders of Southern Uganda is a snapshot of this picture here. So my humble, that is the fact. Am I telling lies? So if you want to see the future of Eastern Uganda as at 2024, 12th of June, you take a picture. The area MPs, the other DCs, the cows. So maybe I want to just add that in the future, maybe when the other regions are invited, maybe they can add observers of very key opinion, then you will complete the mindset, the leaders of the region. So when we were planning NDP 3 going to NDP 4, we began saying that we realized that research has shown
that government programs and budgets are in silos. People hold their budgets in their armpits and do their own thing in the departments in the government. So there are some areas where we have done program budgeting so that we are able to deliver a program for a community or for government, like we've done for Karamoja. My appeal to you, I'm not giving a speech, is just to conclude by saying, even if Parliament has not invited this type of forum, let's start thinking of some deliveries at regional level. Have your own forum, your WhatsApp group for Eastern Uganda leaders. You have it? Eastern Uganda? You can have your own meetings. Then you can invite us to come and back you up and support. This is what is going to deliver the country. Finally, I invite you to look at what we call the poverty map. It's from you, boss, but at planning we use it to have plans for the regions and sub-regions. That plan informs us a lot because the whole focus now is on poverty and household incomes. How did you get poor? Or how did your region end up poor? We should be able to answer those questions by looking at that. On the issues of governance, we have been struggling with the fact that the 1995 Constitution invites us to have elections every 5 years. But my research and others have shown that the only effective years to deliver what you are talking about, there are only 2. Let me give you an example. We had election in 2021. Maybe you settled in, then you delivered in 2022, 2023. And really people settled to deliver real work in 2024 and 2025 because the election mood has already started peaking. Even if the government structure talks about the civil service, there is a lot of disruption from the governance. Why? We elect about 4 million leaders every 5 years, but the electioneering begins 2 years to the end of a term. So these are some of the issues when we are planning. We don't know whether 5 years works for Uganda. How did we end that? So part of the plan is to restructure the governance cycle of our country. We will come to you for consultation. I thank you. Madam, the mother of the Kiaka, I want to report that you should be a proud mother because your son is one of the brilliant Ugandans we have at the Secretariat. Thank you, Chair, for giving me a chance.
Thank you so much, member of SEC. Thank you so much for those.
No, there was a question I was asked to answer from the government chief whip about the NRM elections. Because I'm deployed at NPA to align, plan, but also ensure that the NRM manifesto speaks to the National Development Plan. That's the task I have. So, for the elections at the Secretariat, we are going to conclude the registration of the members because the pillar of whatever we are going to do begins with a good register. So you must approve the register of the members, then we shall start. And it should be aligned to his national calendar. So there will be meetings led by the Secretary General's calendar. The roadmap is coming. So this is not a party forum per se, but I'm giving information that the time for the Secretary will come, but will not be stampeded. We shall have meetings, consultations, conflict resolution, clarification, cleaning of the register, elect the structures, elect national NRM leaders, and then elect flag bearers. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, our SEC member. And I want to thank.
And the people of Uganda sign a social contract with NRM that take lead. And we are all here. You joke around with power, you will lose like that party that lost twice. Before you realize, you will be sitting on the left-hand side. We must not joke around. Not at all. We must monitor all these programs and activities of government. We must assist the NRM. We must assist the president, our vision bearer, in achieving this. And that is why we are here. You may be tall, you may be short, you may be fat, God cannot give us the same size. That's why when you look at the 5 fingers. They're not the same. This one is slightly bigger but shorter. And all of them need to work together. When I say I'm going to remove this paper using the longest, which is this, I cannot. It needs the support of one other for me to remove. So that is the basis of bringing you together. And we hope sector issues that are raised, you will now retreat also in your different sectors and continue the debate. Because here we wanted a point of convergence, and we have converged. You are a resident district commissioner, the Ministry for Presidency, go and continue. You are chairman LC5, the Ministry of Local Government, go and continue. These issues will still end up, for instance, in cabinet. You are a DISO, you have Ministry of Security, go and continue the debate. But here was only meant to bring all of us together, and we focus on one subject, which is service delivery. Ladies and gentlemen, I am sorry that yesterday I was not here. But myself, Honorable Lydia Wanyoto, and the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker were all attending the Central Executive Committee meeting of NRM. And let me deliver to members of the National Resistance Movement warm and fraternal greetings from the Central Executive Committee of NRM. I deliver this to you. The other program that I have not heard about is the program of irrigation. I do not know how many of us know that each and every district has, is it called micro irrigation? Micro scale irrigation. We have it. A member is here saying it is very expensive. It is cost sharing. And you know, even as leaders, we can lead by example. We can take lead. If it is expensive, you take lead and establish at least a demonstration farm. Because if we don't utilize that money, it will go back to the treasury. We are sitting here, but at the end of the financial year, we may have lots of money going back to the treasury. Every district, city, and municipality received the last batch of Q3 and Q4 of the road maintenance grant. And this grant has the district roads committee. What have you done? For us in Electoral, first of all, when we got the indicative figures, that money was meant to do one road, which was valued at 800 million. One road, less than 20 kilometers, about 16. But when we sat as the district roads committee, we paid attention to details. I was hearing here about the issue of buying tires. Under that fund, there is what we call mechanical interest. Under that fund. But it is managed under the roads committee. We procured under mechanical interest. As I speak, Electoral district is set to do 209 kilometers of roads with 1 billion. Cumulative. 209 kilometers. I can tell you, it is a fact. What have we decided to do? One, we are not opening any new road. We are not opening any new road. Two, we are concentrating on connectivity. Connecting sub-county A to sub-county B. Three, we are grading. We are not putting maram because we want motorability and accessibility, and we run 209 kilometers. 209. Because the money is road maintenance. For now, do I need a first-class maram? My district used to get 200 million shillings. Now we have upgraded to 1 billion. Point something. So pay attention to all this. Otherwise, there are districts whose money we are monitoring. There are districts whose money has not yet even been touched. This one of the roads, like you have first-class maram roads in your district.